Hello traders, good day, Vladimir here, and this is the daily review, 17th of January 2017. Today I'll do one review. I didn't want to do nothing before the speech of Theresa May, and as the speech is over now, we can start talking about the charts. Basically, there are many things cooking and building up, so let's put them on the list and let's start covering uh, the opportunities as we're going to follow them and trade them. First of all, the speech of Theresa May, and you can see the pound is flying, and that's everywhere. That's on the pound, dollar, euro, pound, yen, whatever it is. Basically, kind of expected with Brexit or not. That should provide a buy opportunity for the long term. I have talked about that everywhere many times. As bearish as it might look on the short term, for long term, it's only a good thing, and that's why the good expectations. She said they're going to take that through the parliament for approval, of course, and they want good relationships, negotiation with Eurozone, blah blah blah. Basically, typical classical speech which is softening the things that the market was expecting during weekend. While the speculations then show that after previous speech of May, she said they're going to cut a hard Brexit, and then it created a gap, all gaps around the pound. But now it's softening the thing. So pound dollar longs, we now have a false break, convergence principles, retraces, and we are after buys. Okay, we have the false break on the weekly chart now forming here, ending the triple 1 2 3 triple cycle with false break. So we can look for longs and parallel on the 4-hour chart. This double cycle ending also with bullish divergence and false breaks by itself. This is convergence principle forming here. In that case, full convergence, but the same idea. We need pull back and buys. Euro pound, same story. The correction completed. These head and shoulders might start to get activated, and it looks like we don't have divergence on this part, which means there is a good chance that this double wave correction here is only a corrective part of something bigger to get developed. So the idea would be here, 4-hour chart trend line is broken. We can start look for the sell opportunities. By ideal, we are going to get below here, so break below this area, pull back, and we are after sells versus the last stop. Expectations back to this supportive area, and right after that, we might get the second leg down. In terms of tops, you remember the weekly forecast we spoke about these levels, right? 14 we got, it was weekend, so Monday was day off in the US, so we said we're already here. Now it's everywhere. It's pound in all variations, pound versus the yen, pound versus the Canadian, pound versus the Aussie, pound versus the Kiwi. You name it, you get it. It's everywhere. And pound CAD might be also one of my favorites. It's an amazing cycle. One more false break we got on a daily. Follow the same on the 4-hour chart. I want to go above this high. Confirm that it's breaking this trend line as well. Going above this high, pull back, and we are after long-term longs, which very likely, are going to take us to the top of this area, and that could provide thousands of points, maybe even more. That's very great one to follow for sure. Now for short-term opportunities from other views, CAD yen still dancing around the same range it had. Here on the 1-hour chart, we got a false break and convergence principle. So if we basically if we get two waves correction with the breakout, it could be great opportunity for buys. Those of you who attacked the limit here on the 15 minutes already had a great opportunity here and risk-free for this trade. That was the one I of course I referred to. Retrace, attack on this area. That's all basically. Those who don't, two waves down, if we get them, are relevant for the trade, and as all it is relevant as long as the last bottom here holds, because if the bottom will not hold, of course we can't do nothing. Dollar yen, I wouldn't deal with that right now, but we do have the level of below 112, as you remember from the weekly forecast. It's right here. If we can get closer to there, I'll be looking for the opportunities to deal with that for sure. For buys, but currently we are still not there, so slowing down. Euro dollar, and we know that that one we want the double cycle to complete. That should happen any round, and between 107.20, which reached today, to 108, or alternatively the 161 expansion, which is a bit further around 109. That's the levels where I think we are going to form tops for short-term sell. The way to do that would be if we can get false break, right? Two false breaks, because that should be the first. Two false breaks, lower lows, pull back, and then we can trade against it. Or by alternative, two waves down and buys. Same with the Aussie dollar, which is completing triple cycle up. It's already in a great zone. Anything between 0.75 to 0.76, maybe even a bit higher, is great for sell opportunity. We need two false breaks. Currently on a 1 hour chart we don't have any. On a 15 minutes we got first false break, so we will still need higher highs to be created for another false break, and then we get ready for action there. New Zealandian dollar, another one, same story exactly. 4 hour chart, triple cycle. Ideally we should get it and above 0.70 to 20. If we get it there, that's a great sell opportunity. Probably going back to 0.7050 down to 0.70, and that's a great one to follow. We need two false breaks on this area, 1 hour chart or 15 minutes. In terms of days for tops, we have 18, very powerful day, and that's of course tomorrow, and that's basically where it could go and happen. So we are getting ready for action for sure. It's getting interesting there. Euro Aussie and Euro Kiwi start to be interesting, but the continuation, the creation of new lows currently does not allow us to do anything with it. So we will wait probably for better conditions for action. Currently, really, we don't have anything to trade there. Aussie franc starts to be interesting. I want to get two waves down and go for buy. We need two waves here and start looking for buys. Remind you where from. We are from the weekly and monthly cycles. So we are basically going, this is the double cycle. We are going still here. This is another double cycle, which still has plenty of room to go further. Daily chart is in a range. If we want to sell here against the weekly, we need two false breaks. Currently we are building up one, so maybe we get one more and then a false break, so we can short term sell, or two waves down and we are going for buys. It's irrelevant for now, but it's definitely to follow. Action could happen this week, so we are on the beginning of the week, so it's important to put that all together and get ready for possible action. Silver, triple cycle, 1, 2, 3. By ideal, we should get it above 17.15 for possible sells. I want to see the pullback in two waves and buys. So we basically are looking for short-term sells in this area after two false breaks, of course, on the 1 hour chart or 15 minutes, as this is a 4 hour chart corrective cycle. 2 waves down here, and we will be looking for this opportunity to start and collecting the longer term buys. Keep an eye. This is really interesting one. If we observe that on the rally for the tops, right? Again, 18 is very powerful day, and the next days are going to be 22, 23, also very powerful tops. So we could really get that going, like finishing on that period and making this correction before the continuation further for new highs. So keep an eye. That should be a really interesting one, and definitely one we want to be dealing with. Kiwi yen still dancing around the range, which means if it will be able to hold the range, we can try again sell around the top like we did last time, 2 waves up and sell. So if we get 2 waves up here, we would be looking again for sell. So basically, basically like this, right? And then the trend line, and we are looking for sells. Another one to follow on the list for sure. And that would be all for today. Too many great opportunities forming. We have to keep an eye here, and remember, treat it very carefully, very carefully. Um, as amazing it looks, we still have to play safe. No need to rush to click the button. As I said, Euro Kiwi and Euro Aussie starts to be interesting, yet they are irrelevant. So we will be on a waiting zone with them, getting ready for action for the next days. That will be all for today, friends. I'll see you again tomorrow. And as I said, today we have only one video because there was no real reason to do anything before the speech of Theresa May. Now, as we have the view of the pound and the pound pairs, we can start and do much more interesting things. Thanks for your time watching this video. I wish you a wonderful day, great trading, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Yours, Vladimir.